I wanted to bring up the drafting issue. It seems that there's a lot of people out there that don't believe drafting is happening. Yes, it is. It is happening. And I'm going to show you, and I'm going to give you the proof, because I know you little shits don't care to take time to look and research. But then on the other hand, some of you are just NPCs, bots, and agents that just want to pick on people. Don't pick on me because you're not going to win. And I don't care if you don't like it. So, with that being said, here is a clip from my love, the Cosmic Truth 2.0. Let's start with his video. And then I got more to show proof. Alright? Let's look.
There's now officially a military draft that just got enacted. And a lot of people ain't having it, man. Well, let's hear what everyone has to say about this military draft that's going on right now.
Well, break and fuck the news and fuck all of us, I guess, because it looks like the U.S. military draft is now talking about 18 through the ages of 39.
The U.S. government sent me a piece of mail today. I'm pretty sure we're getting drafted, bro.
All of your sons and daughters will end up getting a draft notice, the thing called a draft. Dad, what's this? Oh, congratulations, you've been drafted into the military. You're going to fight a war against a country that nobody's ever heard of.
Man, I don't even cap, bro. I was thinking him about my decision. And I'm already too deep in, bro. I'm already too deep in, bro.
Military draft, are you fucking kidding me? You think that Gen Z and millennials, younger millennials, are going to go get drafted to fight in the Iran war? You've got to be outside of your fucking minds. Two of the most unserious generations, two of the generations that have gotten fucked over the most with policies of the last 20 fucking years. We can't afford shit. I think this generation is going to sign up and fight a war for Benjamin Netanyahu and the guy that is all over the files that is clearly distracting from it. You've got to be outside your mind. If you thought fragging was bad in Vietnam, just fucking wait. Just wait.
From the looks of it, no one is trying to go to war, especially with the fact that we live in the age of information and people are waking up to everything. So, what gives? We all know what happens when we send our babies to do their bidding. We're not having it. But what do y'all think about this crazy military draft that's going on? Shit is wild, y'all.
Now, with what he said, listen to these two next clips. Two of them. Listen to this.
Well, military draft rules have changed just in time for the war in Iran. The U.S. House of Representatives passed a measure to automatically register men for the Selective Service, updating requirements for the first time in decades. Just as we're in war now, to be fair, they did pass this in December. The rule change goes into effect this coming December 2026. All males aged 18 to 26 will be automatically registered for Selective Service.
Mothers out there are worried that we're going to have a draft, that they're going to see their sons get in and daughters get involved in this.
President Trump wisely does not remove options off of the table.
When this happened in Vietnam, during the Vietnam War, it was pretty much right away. They didn't wait until they ran out of soldiers.
The Draft Lottery, a live report on tonight's picking of the birth dates for the draft.
No, it happens pretty quickly, so don't think, well, we'll wait and see, and once we see a bunch of American soldiers dying in Iran, then they're going to do the draft. No, they might do the draft on us pretty quickly. A lot of young men, before they were sent off to Vietnam, when they received their induction notices, a lot of them did a lot of pretty extreme things in order to avoid being shipped off to war. My dad was telling me about some of the things that some of his friends did. Like one guy paid a friend to hit his leg with a sledgehammer. Another looked at a bright light in a factory and tried to make himself go blind. Young men are viewed as pawns on a chessboard to be taken out in order to protect the king. Their government, the oligarchs, the corrupt, greedy, money-making warmongers in Washington want to use them for cannon fodder.
So with the recent conflict in Iran, we're seeing a lot of videos and a lot of talk about a potential military draft here in the United States. Now let's recap that a little bit. So all males that are in the United States between the ages of 18 and 26 are required to register for the Selective Service. While there is no draft right now, that Selective Service would be used to then draft people into the military. Now, who has to register for this? That's all males, U.S. citizens, permanent residents, DACA holders, even immigrants, documented or otherwise, undocumented. you have to register for the Selective Service in the United States. Let us hope and pray that no draft is ever instituted again here in the United States. But remember what your requirements are for the Selective Service.
Now, after all of that, here is the next clip that will show you what can disqualify you for the draft. Pay attention to this.
So with the talk of there being a draft, I will give you guys ways that you could possibly avoid being drafted. Obviously, it'll be between the ages of 18 and 25. If you are between those ages and you do get drafted, if you decide not to go when you are drafted, there's a fine or there's a prison sentence, which is really extreme, considering that the person who might do the draft avoided the draft because he had money, but we're not going to talk about that. So here are some key things that will disqualify you. If you have respiratory issues such as like asthma or pneumonia within the last 3 months, or any type of reactive disease, you are disqualified. If you have any mental health problems, now obviously this is diagnosed, so it can't just be like, oh, my mental health is struggling. You have to be actually diagnosed. There's obviously like psychosis, autism, and then ADD, ADHD, and then a plethora of other things. Cardiovascular and blood issues. That's like hypertension, coronary artery disease, heart valve disease, or any history of blood clots. Obviously, there's more options as well. Any orthopedic problems, so like scoliosis, joint instability, or limitations in motion. Obviously, a lot of you know about being flat-footed. If you're flat-footed, you will be disqualified. Any neurological disorders, such as like seizures, epilepsy, or concussions that happened recently, or if you have any type of STD, such as AIDS or HIV, or any type of severe allergies, cancer, or obesity, you will be disqualified. There's some other ways you can enlist in another branch of the military. You can register as a conscientious objector. You can get married and have some kids, which I do not recommend. You can claim a medical condition, as I stated earlier, or you can just flee the country, which I think is like a really good option, honestly. I'm not even gonna lie.
Now you know the gist, if you qualify or don't qualify. So listen to this next clip. It's going to explain a little bit who's getting drafted and who isn't. And then after this, I got more information for you.
All right, let's be real for a second. If World War III kicks off for real, who gets drafted first? Here's the breakdown. First, men ages 18 to 25. If you're registered with Selective Service, congratulations, you're on the list. Number 2, military veterans and former active duty. You're already trained. If things escalate, you're not retired anymore. You're preloaded. Number 3, dual citizens of allied countries. Yeah, some of you may be eligible to serve for both sides. Fun times. Number 4, college exemptions. That worked in the 60s, but don't count on it now. Number 5, TikTok influencers. Let's just say your fit checks won't matter much in camo. And no, this time around, eligibility isn't based on how you identify. If you're within the age range, you're on the radar. Now, will there actually be a draft? Maybe not, but ask yourself, why does Selective Service still exist? They're not collecting names for fun.
Now that you hear all of that, this is what's going on. They are drafting. They're drafting in Russia, Denmark, Colombia, Turkey, and Mongolia right now. Yes, they are. They have mandatory military service or active conscription systems that, with the wars that are going on right now, yes, they're drafting. And some countries have expanded or strengthened conscription recently due to war tension, specifically in Europe and Iran. So, yes. And let me tell you something extra that you didn't know. Let's just say you happen to move from the United States and you live in either of these countries. You think you're exempt? No. You would be drafted. So yes, drafting is happening right now. And what makes you think if it's not happening in another country, it's not going to leak over here? Any place that is a Democrat place, a low vibrational place, city or state, those are the ones that are going to attack first. and all levels. And just remember, there are implants that have been there for years. They go to work with you. They go to the store with you. They go to school with your kids. They live a life no different than you. And when they're activated, they will pull off every chaos they can and disaster. You have to realize that there are implants in every city and state, especially the low vibrational, the most ignorant, and the democratic city or state. That's where all they're at. The supercells, everything. They get activated and boom, they do what they need to do. And you people think it's people that are like you. No, they're not. They've been implanted there. They've been paid for by the government all of this time. So keep that in mind. So those of you sitting in the back that want to sit there and act dumb, or you want to be an agent or an NPC or somebody that works for the government, you think you can come at me sideways, you can go ahead and try. It ain't gonna work. I'm the wrong person to be coming after. But I'm telling you right now, drafting is happening. Those of you in the back, you need to wake up.